What's up, guys? This is Duke of Earl coming at you. We're going to talk about the Wand of Woe Tal Rash'a combination build. I call it Woe Tal Annihilation. Now, this build, it sparks a lot of controversy, obviously, because of one item, the Wand of Woe, which I've heard is really rare. So, if you have one, consider yourself lucky. I have roughly 75, 80 clanmates that play regularly, and all of them have wizards, and all of them play the wizard quite frequently, and I'm the only one out of the group who has one, I think. And so that's pretty significant. We all play the same amount. Everybody's around 300, 400, 500 Paragon. So it's pretty rare. And with that being said, if you do find one, I have put together a build for you guys that I think is very effective in Torment 5 and 6. T6, you want to be in a group. But Torment 5, easily you can solo without Unity with a Templar that's decently geared, okay? So I'm just going to go over these things real quick just to keep this part of the video at a short time frame. I use Meteor Shower on the left click. This is a choice between Spectral Blade and Flame Blades. You just don't get the AoE that you do with Meteor Shower. I can spam Meteor, especially with Cinder Coat, and really get the area of effect with this skill. For crowd control, you have Black Hole Supermassive. You can use Spell Steal, but I just like the radius that Supermassive gives you. And I just like the word Supermassive Black Hole. And the defensive slot or whatever, I use Frost Nova Cold Snap. I used to use Bone Chill, but the cooldown is just mega ridiculous. So I went down to 7.5 seconds. And it also increases the freeze duration to 3 seconds. So this is pretty much a no-brainer for me. I have around 50% cooldown, so that's going to be around 3.5 to 4 seconds. And that basically, I can spam this just as much as my other skills so that it's a constant thing. And if you time Frozen, Frost Nova, and Black Hole, you can really mitigate the crowd for the entire time. So, that is what I use for that skill. Obviously, I'm going to use Explosive Blast, Chain Reaction. You can use Short Fuse if you have enough cooldown, but generally the rule of thumb is if you have too much cooldown, you're lacking somewhere else, like damage, elemental damage. So I use Chain Reaction and with a semi-decent amount of cooldown, and I can literally keep this going pretty much the entire time. Okay? Next is Magic Weapon, Force Weapon. I switch between this and Diamond Skin, depending on how much I'm dying. If I'm dying a lot, I'll switch over to Diamond Skin with Crystal Shell and have that extra mitigation, but most of the time you're not going to have to worry about that, especially in Torment 5. You can go with Magic Weapon, Force Weapon for that increased 20% damage, and trust me, once this goes away, you feel it, which sucks. It's like a good drug. You're always going to have this basically to feel right out in the battlefield, let's say. The battlefield of Diablo 3. Next one is going to be Energy Armor and Prismatic Armor. This is pretty much a staple. You can switch over to Pinpoint Barrier if you don't have enough crit chance, but you're really going to notice it when you are in a T5 game and you need all the mitigation you can get. So I use Prismatic Armor just for the extra all-res. Passives real quick. I'm not going to explain each of these in detail. You can understand why I would use this build if you just think for a little bit. Blur, 17% damage decrease from enemies. Dominance, a stacking shield that I kill pretty fast in T5, which pretty much stays up about 90% of the time. That's what I want. The only downside is when I fight the Rift Guardian, I have to dance and kite a little bit more because I don't have this stacked. Now, most of my fighting in this game is going to be in a mob with 10 to 15 enemies, okay? I'm going to have this bar none. Conflagration is not an issue here because I have enough critical hit chance already. I don't need that extra 6%. Evocation reduces all cooldowns by 20%. That's a no-brainer for this build especially, so yeah, Evocation it is. Audacity, I deal all of my damage within 15 yards. Every single piece of damage that I do, it's within 15 yards, so I'm always going to use Audacity. And build real quick, Wand of Woe. Just to alleviate the people asking me, I found this off of a Key Warden, Act 2 Key Warden on Torment 2. So if you think that you need to be on like T6 or whatever to find this, it's incorrect. You can find it on T2. I found mine off of Key Warden, if that isn't as weird. If that isn't weird, I don't know what is. So right here is Stone of Jordan, staple, cooldown, Ellie. I wish it would have rolled with main stat, but I got Vit instead, and you're going to see how much Vit I have in my my pieces as we go along. Pretty standard Mage Fist. We got the trifecta with main stat and fire damage. Augilds is a staple for this build. I don't have the 30% damage reduction that you get from Monk or something else, so I am going to have to use Augilds for the damage reduction from elites. So you get around 22% altogether, and you get the increased damage against elites, which is a must. 3-piece Tal set is the next part. I have the Tal belt, the Tal amulet, and the Tal helm. All of these, you're gonna want at least some sort of mitigation in life with these. All of the pieces that you have in this build are gonna have some sort of vitality to it, or you're not gonna survive. So I have a diamond in the top in my helm for the reduced cooldown. In the amulet, I have fire damage. I re-rolled and I kept vitality because I need the extra life. I re-rolled some life percent from the belt. I think it was just like a BS thing that I re-rolled out of that. And for the Cinder Coat, this is pretty much another staple of the build. I need this when channeling Meteor. And for the boot and pant combo, I go with the Shiras to get the 20% life bonus and that extra resistance bonus. In the source area, you are going to use Firebird. You can use Trium, but I don't use it because I find that extra 8% damage, or even 9 or 10% damage, depending on the roll of the Trium, that you're going to get with the Firebird is just way too good to pass up. Plus, this one's close to perfect, so why would I go back, basically? Some people will argue that you need the APOC for this build, but I don't think so if you just manage your resources correctly, okay? So that's pretty much the items. Just go over this real quick. Critical hit chance 50, 331, critical hit damage, cooldown reduction 50%. That's all well and good. Resistances in the 1200 to 1300 unbuffed. Buffed, you are looking at 1500 to 1900 to 2100, give or take a few, okay? So, buffed, you're looking at toughness around 19 million and damage around 836. Really meaningless, but you'll see how much damage I do in a second. And if you have any other questions, guys, you can leave in the comments. I just don't want to talk too much about it. I just want to show you the build. But it's pretty cool anyway. Just a black hole. Super massive black hole, dude. And then the stun lock and just jump around the enemies. You don't have to run from them. You can literally just run around. It's a pretty cool build. And here's a champ pack. Let me show you what it can do with these guys. As you can see, I don't have to run, which is a great feeling, especially in T5 with a wizard. And people are probably going to argue that, oh, Duke, you need to do more damage and you need to dance more. That's not what I want to do. I want to find a happy medium. I think I found it with this build where I do enough damage. My explosive blast and meteor shower crit around 8 million to 10 million per. So, and if you multiply that, that's just around 200 million in about 10 to 15 seconds. I mean, that's a decent amount of damage. So I'm really happy with this build and where it is now. It obviously could improve. I'm trying to find a different Mage Fist. Also looking ahead to 2.1, they are giving a damage legendary affix to depth diggers. It's 40 to 80% more damage when equipped. Your signature spells when you cast it. So a +2 mirror ball is going to be a top commodity for this next patch, and that will come in really handy with Firebirds. I'm just saying, guys, just a quick insight into 2.1. Get your Firebird set, okay? Get your mirror ball, because that's soon going to be what the wizard is all about in 2.1. So I hope you guys like the Wotal Annihilation build. I do enjoy it. You guys can catch me on Twitch at Duke of Earl. The link is right in the bottom corner. I'm usually on pretty much every night, and I just run these run riffs. So yeah, hope you guys liked it, and I'll catch you guys some other time. All right, bye bye.